The Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights is not a public health crisis. What is a public health crisis is the crime rates that are skyrocketing because Democrats keep letting murderers and violent criminals out of jail.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a heated exchange that recently took place on Capitol Hill. Senator Ted Cruz went head-to-head with Dr. Ranney, a Biden appointee, over some incredibly controversial statements, claiming guns are a public health issue. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Cruz came out swinging, emphasizing that the Second Amendment is not, and should not be considered, a public health crisis. Instead, he pointed out the real public health crisis: skyrocketing crime rates. And according to Cruz, these rising crime rates can be directly attributed to Democrat policies that keep letting violent criminals back out on the streets. It was a fiery start to what would become a very intense clash. So, if you're passionate about the Second Amendment, public safety, or just love seeing political drama unfold, stay tuned. And don't forget, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Let's dive right into the video.
Today's Democrats, when it comes to guns, their objective is to disarm law-abiding citizens. They simultaneously embrace policies that release violent criminals from jail. They're not interested in locking up murderers. They're not interested in locking up gangbangers. They're not interested in locking up violent criminals. Instead, they systematically support policies that release violent criminals. By the way, if you are hesitant to believe me when I say this, perhaps you'll believe the mayor of Dallas. The mayor of Dallas, Eric Johnson, who's a friend. He's a lifelong Democrat. He's African-American mayor, elected in Dallas, been a Democrat his whole life until just recently. He left the Democrat Party and became a Republican. Now, let me read you why Mayor Johnson became a Republican. Quote, "Unfortunately, many of our cities are in disarray. Mayors and other local elected officials have failed to make public safety a priority or to exercise fiscal restraint. Most of these local leaders are proud Democrats who view cities as laboratories for liberalism rather than as havens for opportunity and free enterprise. Too often, local tax dollars are spent on policies that exacerbate homelessness, coddle criminals, and make it harder for ordinary people to make a living. And too many local Democrats insist on virtue signaling, proposing half-baked government programs that aim to solve every single societal ill, and on finding new ways to thumb their noses at Republicans at the state and federal level." I have to say to an ordinary person, the political ideology of today's Democrats makes no sense. Why your priority is disarming a law-abiding citizen but not going after the violent criminal. And to be clear, it is the radical left that advocates abolishing the police and defunding the police. And when I say there are no moderate Democrats left, the Biden administration has nominated not one, not two, but three of the leading advocates of abolishing the police to senior positions at the U.S. Department of Justice. Every single Democrat on this committee voted to confirm every single one of them, but not just on this committee. Every single Democrat in the United States Senate voted to confirm all three of the Biden nominees, including Rachel Rollins, nominated by the U.S. Attorney in Massachusetts, one of the leading advocates of abolishing the police, as a local prosecutor. She put out a list of violent crimes that she wouldn't prosecute. You know what? We're not having a hearing on the impact of Soros prosecutors releasing violent criminals from jail. We're not having a hearing on carjacking in Washington, D.C., because the Democrat City Council lowered the penalty for carjacking, lowered the penalty for murder. We're not having a hearing on Congressman Henry Cuellar, a Democrat from Texas, who was carjacked in Washington, D.C. at 9:30 at night. We're also not having a hearing on the Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots across the country, because to Democrats, when stores are being looted, when police cars are being firebombed, when police officers are being murdered, that's not a crisis if they agree with the ideology of the criminals. Instead, their objective is they want to take away the firearm from the single mom who's taking the subway home at night, who that is the only prevention she has against the violent criminals.
So, there you have it. A heated clash between Senator Ted Cruz and Dr. Megan Ranney that highlights some of the most contentious issues facing our country today. Whether you agree with Cruz or not, there's no denying that this debate touches on critical questions about public safety, gun rights, and the role of government in our lives. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.